We 1000% need more Nerf bananas in the future. And what I mean by that is I'm going to be talking about this Nerf Fortnite Peely Microshot and talk about why I like it specifically and what I want to see more of in the future. I mean, normally I don't say this about Nerf blasters, but this is ridiculously cute. So what do I like about this blaster in particular? And from here on out, I'm just going to call it the Banana Blaster because calling it the Nerf Fortnite Peely Microshot Jolt is just kind of a little bit of a mouthful. If you're curious about how well this scales next to an actual banana, well, you're in luck. I have an actual banana right here that I went to go to the store to buy specifically for this video. And you can see here that it isn't that much smaller than an actual banana. In fact, this is probably a decent sized banana, and this is more of a, well, I guess jolt sized banana. What's great about the Banana Blaster here is that it works just like a Nerf Jolt. You put a dart in the front, you pull down on the priming bar, and then the dart just flies. It works. It is an effortless Nerf blaster that gets you into the game of Nerf, gets you into the whole toy of Nerf relatively quickly, easily, and without a whole lot of fuss. I mean, seriously, you try handing somebody who's never played Nerf a Seagull and see what happens. Not only is this just a perfectly simple Nerf blaster, it looks really cool too. Now, in fact, I really like the Microshots line, and I think it's a really cool collector's piece for Nerf. Because in all honesty, collecting Nerf blasters takes up a lot of space, and the Microshots in particular take up, well, the most micro of spaces. And you find these for relatively the same price as a Funko Pop, as really anything else that's relatively collectible. And not only is it a cool piece, but it's also a working toy. It does something, it has action, it has movement to it. Well, what do you say? Let's give this Banana Blaster a micro review. As I've been talking about, the design of this is absolutely spectacular and phenomenal. There's literally not a whole lot I would change about it. I even like the Fortnite Peely face on there because it just gives it a little extra fun quality. It's compact, it performs exactly like a Nerf Jolt should. The only problem that I have with this blaster is one that I have basically with every single Nerf Jolt ever, and it's this little ridge right here that is a little uncomfortable to hold if you're using this for a prolonged period of time. So this is a nearly perfect blaster, no notes. All right, let's get on to talking about more of what these kind of blasters represent and why I think we need to see more of them. To get more specific, to get more granular about why I like this blaster here is the fact that it's just goofy. It has a silly point of view to the world, and that it's a banana that shoots a Nerf dart. I don't know how much more delightful you can get when it comes to merging something that can be semi-serious with something very silly. And in the past year or so, I've been playing a little more Fortnite, so the Peely thing is a little more appealing to me, but it doesn't really necessarily have to be Peely on here. It could just have been a banana, and that would have been pretty awesome too. Having the high-powered stuff by no means is a bad thing. It's just I prefer the more toyetic Nerf blasters of the bunch because, well, as you've noticed, I also collect a bunch of other toys around here. Nerf is a toy with a fantastic history. This is something that I talk about all the time. It's been going for years and years and decades. So the fact that there's so much history behind Nerf is a worthy toy to add to anybody's collection in my book. And throughout the years, we've seen Nerf go into wonderfully wild directions. All of the Max Force stuff, either from the initial line or from the 2112 line. We've seen things from the Cyber Strike line. And we've seen even crazy things within the Zombie Strike line that included Silly String. And we won't talk about the Oozinator. No, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about the Oozinator. When I came across this Banana Blaster, it got me thinking, we haven't seen a food-themed Nerf blaster line I don't think ever. Honestly, I think there's a lot of fun theming you could do around food. Whether or not that would be popular is a whole other matter, but the point still stands. I have the most fun with Nerf when it is wild, when it's weird, when it's wacky. There's a reason why I have the Roblox Snake Blaster Sniper up there, because it is just so weird. It's a snake blaster that is just... I don't know how it got made, but I love the fact that it got made. And I think there's a slight misconception that Nerf blasters have to be serious. And part of the reason for that, I think, is just because of the overall trends in the blaster space from the past couple of years. We've seen the explosion of gel blasters and half-length dart blasters, which are all more performance-based. Everything is faster, everything is smaller, and everything is more geared for a specific type of competitive play. But if I'm being truly honest, I am more of a collector at heart, and it adds a toy quality to something that is a blaster of foam darts. And also the Max Force stuff that would take elements of animals and plug them into a blaster form factor is just incredible. I mean, just look at this thing. This is the Coral Viper from the Max Force 2112 line, and a lot of people have said in TikTok videos, and when I've also showed this other places, that it kind of looks like the Zat from Stargate, which I can't argue with. It does have very similar qualities to it. Does Nerf need more banana blasters, which I'm using as a blanket term for anything kind of gimmicky, silly, out of the ordinary that isn't fueled for competitive play? Or are you of the mind where the more competitive the blaster, the more performance tuned it is, the better? Or are you of the mind where you like the more high-tech, cyber-infused blaster like we see from Elite 2.0, like we see from Dart Zone, like we see from Nerf Pro line? Because I want to know if there are other people out there looking specifically for the gimmicks, looking for the weird stuff. And if you like this discussion about Nerf, if you like action figures, if you like toys in general, or just having fun, please subscribe to this channel and help it grow. Alright, I think that about does it for this video. We'll see you next time.